Howdy. I saw Piranha in 3D yesterday. There was some confusion for me about this film. As much confusion as there can be about Piranha. I thought it was Piranha 3D. You know, like with Jaws. Jaws 3D. I thought it was a sequel to Piranha 2: The Spawning. Turns out that it's just a remake of Piranha. Piranha is the cult classic. Roger Corman produced. Joe Dante directed. Piranha and Piranha 2. Piranha 2 is Roger Corman as well, directed by James Cameron. Directorial debut. Piranha and Piranha 2: The Spawning are some of my favorite movies as a very small kid. I can remember distinctly being in a video store at a very, very, very young age and holding the boxes to these movies. Like, oh my God, I want to see these movies. And as I got older, I eventually got to, and I mean, I loved them because, one, Piranha is like one of my favorite animals. And monster movies, nature gone, or uncontrollable nature is also one of my favorite themes of film, one of my favorite genres. So to combine the two, whoo! Anyway, so I thought it was Piranha 3. But again, it's a remake of Piranha. So now it's in the hands of the Weinstein brothers and Alexander Aja? AJ? I don't know. AJA is his last name. I'm not sure how he pronounces it. Mr. Aja has made some bad movies, so he's used to bad movies. He knows what makes a movie bad. And the Weinsteins are, you know, good producers, uber producers, and they know what makes a movie. Along the story is, I'm going to give it a 7. I see no reason not to give it a 7. As a matter of fact, as soon as it was over, I was like, was that an 8? You know, did I love it that much? And now that I've slept on it, probably not. But still, I gotta give it a 7. I don't know if you can see it because my shot's so small, but within 30 seconds of the film starting, I was sitting in my chair going like this. You know, it was awesome. Has one of the best recent openers in a long time, featuring Richard Dreyfuss, in a direct reference to my favorite film of all time, Jaws. Again, when it started out like that, my expectations just, because I had no expectations, no hope, and then boom, way up. And I wasn't disappointed. It's schlock, don't get me wrong. It's got some bad acting. It's got some bad stuff, but it's made with love. It's made by people who know what they're doing and who know what they want and know who they're making the movie for. So it is a success on that level, at every level. It also stars Elizabeth Shue, Christopher Lloyd, Ving Rhames, Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell is so bad in this movie, but his character is really bad. But I mean, again, I kind of loved it, but you know, some bad acting is going on there. But again, with what he had to work with, it's kind of appropriate. So again, tongue-in-cheek. The whole thing is just tongue-in-cheek. And then the piranha just rips out the cheek. And the tongue. one of the most impressive, well, let me get to what it's about. It's about an earthquake opening up a fissure, an underground lake, and it releases, you know, piranhas from the Mesozoic era, or something like that. Large, aggressive piranha. And just in time for spring break, and the slaughter ensues. You don't really need to know much more about that. There isn't much more to it than that. One of the things that really had me shocked about this movie, and I love horror movies. Horror, when I get down to it, horror is probably my favorite genre of film. One, because film is all about emotion and the way that the images make you feel, and the story too. But the images are really what speak to me. And horror, when it's done well, just really rips you apart emotionally. And Piranha kind of did that to me. Really kind of frayed my nerves. I don't have any other term for it other than action scene, but there's an action scene or action sequence that is really like 15 minutes, and I'm trying not to exaggerate. It's like a 15-minute scene of pure gory carnage, and it doesn't let up. You know, there's no break. I mean, you're seeing the most disgusting things, and the most horrific things are happening to people, and it's just like boom, 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 boom for 15 minutes. And like maybe 5 minutes into the scene, I was like, you know, wow. But you know, when I realized it was finally over, and not the movie, the scene, I just was kind of sitting there and thinking, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. You know, it really kind of bothered me. No, I won't say disturbed, even though there's a lot of disturbing images. It kind of shook me a little bit, and I was just sitting there realizing, I don't think I've ever seen something quite like that. And I don't, you know, it's true, it's how I felt. And again, it's just non-stop gore, and done so very well. And again, this was in 3D. This was in 3D. I would say probably the best use of 3D. I know that Avatar invented it, and James Cameron invented it. Well, now, maybe it's appropriate that Piranha has perfected it and given it purpose. There's so much nudity in this movie. There's an underwater ballet sequence that probably been my favorite 3 minutes in the theater this year. The movie never stops having fun, both at its own expense, at the bad movie genre. You know, it just, again, never stops having fun. It's gleeful to watch. There is that sense of glee throughout. Horrifying glee. The special effects are good. The piranha are nice. I really like the creature design. Well directed. The script was funny and self-deprecating and referential to films that have come before it. I thought it was intelligent. Again, I'm talking about Piranha here. So I definitely recommend it. It's a must-see in the theater. It's a must-see in the theater. You need to see it in 3D. It was shot in 3D, made for 3D. I don't really even know how well it's going to translate to 2D. I mean, it'll still be funny and still be shockingly gory, but it's going to lose something coming home, you know? You need to get out to the theater to see it. It's just a must. I don't really know what else to say about it. I just had a great time at Piranha. I give it a 7. I really hope that it comes to your town somewhere close that you can see it, especially on a big screen, in 3D, and I guarantee that if you're a guy, girls, ladies, I mean, come on, you're not going to go to this movie. But if you have testicles, you will have a good time. I guarantee it. So that's Piranha, 2010 remake. It's a 7. Great stuff. Later.